This week is going to be a very productive and busy week. I'm going to be working on the next big plant restock that's coming up next week. Earlier today, I got a delivery of all these plants, so let's go ahead and unbox them and see what we got coming up. We have one box this time, and I believe there's about 40 to 45-ish plants in here. This box weighs 67 pounds, so it is really heavy, and I do get the shop plants shipped from my wholesaler via UPS. So they did come earlier today. I'm just getting around to opening the box because I had to work today. So since I'm done working, I'm gonna go ahead and start unboxing them. It does take a little while for the greenhouse to process your order. So I believe I placed this order about 2 or almost 3 weeks ago. Usually when you place it, they will ship it out in the next like 2 weeks, sometimes 3. They have a long processing time, which, you know, makes sense. And then I usually always pay for UPS 2-day air. So they come in 2 days. Shipping for this box cost me about $470. So not too bad for it to be this large, this heavy, and to come in 2 days. So let me go ahead and set up the table and we can start unboxing. Gonna try to do this quickly, and I'm also gonna try not to make a mess. I do save all the materials, so I'm gonna be storing them as well. So the first plant here, this is a Monstera Thai Constellation. This is a 5-inch pot, has a really nice leaf here. This one is a Hoya. This is Hoya Sarawak. This one is very nice. Wow, you guys, look at these beautiful leaves. It comes on this really cute trellis. It is like dirty, so I'm gonna see if I can clean off the trellis. If I can clean it like really good, I'll include it with it. Here are the leaves. I haven't had Sarawak in a while in the shop, so I wanted to bring it back. I know a lot of you guys always really like it, and these leaves are massive, as you can see. They are so nice. I've literally just started and I'm already sweating. It is so freaking hot today compared to what it's been. It's like 65 degrees, but a few days ago we had like 6 inches of snow. This is another Sarawak. They are basically identical. They literally look exactly alike. This one's looking like a hot mess. Tons of soil spillage, and it is very, very wet. But this is a Philodendron gigas. It's very loose in its pot, so that's probably why. Here is an up close of this guy. It does come on this plank, so you'll also receive the plank as well when it's up for sale. I am going to be completely repotting these plants, making sure that they are in a healthy state, cleaning them up, cleaning their leaves up, everything like that. So it is going to look so much better once I get to them this week, but this is what they look like fresh out of the package. We have Anthurium clarinervium. This one only has 2 leaves. If you're a beginner to anthuriums and you want something a little bit different than your crystallinum, the clarinervium is a great one. Very easy, and the leaf shape is super cute. It's a little heart. So I always recommend this one, and they do flower a lot as well, at least in my experience. We have Anthurium radicans. It's been a little while since we had the radicans again. I figured it'd be a good time to bring it back. This is what they look like. The radicans is another easy anthurium. Looks very similar to the Anthurium luxurians if you are looking for something like that or something similar. It looks very similar to the luxurians. It grows really nicely, and overall it's like a really easy plant. These also flower quite frequently as well. There is a flower already on this one. You probably can't really tell. I'm kind of further than usual from the camera, but you'll see all the plants again up close after we're done. This is a Syndapsus Blue Albo. So we had Blue Albo in the past and it did not look like this. I still have one, but I'm keeping one as a mother plant so I can just chop and prop it, but I did sell like a full one. Let me show you the other one. This one here is the one mother plant that I have left. You can see the variegation here. This one's looking a little bit more mature. It's also looking like it's reverting though, so I think I'm just going to do a chop and prop on this guy and see what happens with these like solid green ones. But this guy has clearly outgrown this plank and he is putting out some smaller leaves as well. I'll just have to take a look at it once it's time to like unpot it. This one is another wet mess, but this is a Philodendron Snowdrift. I'm actually very impressed with the size of this. It is wet and kind of gross right now, but this is what it's looking like. Very big leaves, very beautiful. I've never had the snowdrift for the shop, so when I saw that it was available, I knew I had to bring it. Here's another look at this one so you can see like how large it actually is. And this is another Anthurium radicans. I'm feeling like something's going on here with this one because some of the leaves are yellowing. I don't know if you can tell, but this one is like yellowing. This one has yellow on the edges, this one, and it's feeling really limp. So I think there is probably root rot on this plant. So I'm definitely going to be taking a look. That's why it's really important to me to unpot the plants before I sell them. I know that I could just put them on the shelves and call it a day. Kind of my routine now and my thing for my like brand, I guess, to always repot the plants, to check on them, make sure that they're good. I just feel like the last thing you would want if you were to walk into a store, find a plant, and then you take it home and it has root rot, you know what I mean? So even though I am strictly online and I'm e-commerce, I just don't want to put a plant on the shelf and something's wrong with it and I just ignore it, you know? I hope with some love and care, this one will recover, but it's definitely giving signs of root rot. And this looks like another philodendron gigas or gigas. I'm not sure how you say it. Same as the last one, kind of falling out of the pot it's in. The plank is like, as you can see, like out of the pot. Lately, the last like couple months, the shipments have been soaking wet. I'm guessing that they all got watered and they just pack them up. You can see the plank is literally so wobbly. So I hope that the roots are okay down here. Ooh. Oh, okay, so this one I'm excited for. We haven't had one of these ever on the shop. I'm so excited. Look how cool this plant is. This is an Anthurium. I'm gonna put the name on the screen just because I don't wanna butcher it. I've always wanted one of these as well for myself, but I just never got around to it. But this plant is gorgeous. Look at how long these leaves are. So you can see from back here, it does have like a new leaf coming in at the top there. Really, really nice specimen. These look really nice like hanging or draping from something. These are very nice and super cool. They definitely stand out in your like Anthurium collection. And then we have another Anthurium clarinervium. This one has these two leaves here. And then it looks like this one here is in the process of unfurling. So 3, very cute, easy Anthurium. This is a philodendron Burlmarks variegated. This guy is a super cute specimen, super bushy. Looks like there's 2 plants in here maybe, but look how pretty the leaves are. This is a really easygoing variegated plant. Very low maintenance, easygoing plant, especially if you're new to like variegated plants. This one's pretty affordable as well. We have another Monstera Thai constellation, another 5-inch pot. This one's a little bit bigger than the first one. It is a little bit bent up because it has just been packed up in a box, but in a few days they usually like settle down. Very nice variegation. This is another Thai constellation in case you're looking for something a little bit smaller. This is a good little starter guy. So this one is a philodendron melanochrysum variegated. So this is what it's looking like. I wasn't really expecting it to look like this. I hope that you can like see the variegation. Maybe in a few days it'll look a little bit nicer, but I don't know. I don't know yet how I'm feeling about it. I forgot that I ordered this. This is a Syngonium chiapense variegated. I've never had the variegated chiapense on the shop. I do have one as a mother plant, but I figured it was time to bring this guy to the shop. I'm hoping that I can split it into like 2 leaves each. I think that would be a good size for the shop so that I could have 2 listings, but I will have to see once I unpot it. This is what the leaves are looking like. This is another gigas. Definitely growing like all over the place, so I'll have to like situate it better. The leaves are really pretty though. I like the leaf shape. It's very like narrow. This is another philodendron snowdrift. Wow, I wasn't expecting it to be this big. This one is way larger than the last, which is not always the greatest for me because it's harder to ship. So I probably will try to prop this guy or something, but look at these leaves. They are massive. Can you see here? That is a philodendron flower. So it must be really, really happy. This is literally a monster of a plant. The roots are like coming out of the pot. Look at what's going on in here. This is a crazy, crazy mess, but this is this guy here, really large. Very beautiful though. The variegation is really nice. It's very like different. You can see like the speckles on the leaves. This one is really heavy, so I'm assuming it's going to be a big plant again. This is like the one thing that is like a little like hard for me because I really don't like getting large plants for the shop. I've talked about it before. It's really hard to ship large plants. It's very expensive. Nobody wants to pay for it. I don't really do local pickup anymore either because I don't really have time to like meet up with people. When you're ordering in wholesale, you don't know how large a plant's gonna be. So I'm always like taking a risk. And with this one, I was just like thinking, oh, it's just going to be like a regular size. This is insane. I can definitely like split it up into multiples. It's definitely a good thing, but sometimes when you're trying to split up like these really large plants, it definitely can like shock the plant. And then like, I don't want to like lose majority of it. I don't think I've even seen this plant in person, but this is a Monstera. It's definitely 2 or more plants on this pole. Definitely going to try to separate it in that sense, but also cut it down for propagations as well. So you can have like 3 leafers, 4 leafers like that. I don't think I can sell this at this size. The leaves are really nice. They have a beautiful variegation. It's like a yellow and like a white variegation. I've never seen this plant before. I think it's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And it's super heavy, so that's probably why the package was so heavy, because of this guy. It's just sometimes the bigger ones just take a long time to sell, and I could sell like 5 smaller ones much faster than I could sell a big one, you know? I know a lot of people would be really happy to get a plant bigger than they expected. I'm not collecting these, I am selling these for my store. So I have to sometimes do like what's best for the store. If I had a physical store, then I don't think I would really have a problem with it, because then people can just come and pick up plants, you know? But I don't. I do this at a home, and I really don't like the idea of people coming to my home. And when I was doing local pickup, I would meet them at a public place. It just cuts into my schedule a lot, like trying to like work with other people and like my schedule. It's a lot. So that's why I don't really do the local pickup anymore. Polyneura Broguette. We've had these on the shop before. They look like a little like mermaid's tail, and they have like some silver variegation. I figured it would be good to bring it back in case some of you guys missed it when we did have it. I think I had it for like 2 months straight, and I was like, it's time to take a break from it. And here is another one. As you can see, they look exactly the same. This one is very nice. Look at these beautiful leaves. Look how gorgeous this plant is. Never had this Scindapsus before. I love Scindapsus a lot. I know a lot of people, they really aren't like into them, but the people that are, they get it. There are some really nice like variegated Scindapsus out there, and this is definitely one of them. This is a philodendron ring of fire. I wanted to bring back some more common plants as well. I think I got 2 of these. I'm pretty sure this one is also a ring of fire. This is what it looks like. It's a little guy. Here is the other one. This is another philodendron bromarx variegated. Looks very identical to the last one. I went to grab one and it literally fell out of the wrapping. So this is another snowdrift. This is a good size. This is easy to ship. So here we go. This shipment is like an actual mess. It's all in my hands. It's all in the box. Every single plant was like flipped upside down. Here is this guy. This is what it looks like. 3 leaves. So I'm getting towards the bottom, and the bottom is a complete nightmare. All the packages are like stuck together. There's dirt everywhere, and everything is kind of just like falling out. So I'm just gonna take them out of the box so I can see what I have. I have 3 left. I'm just going to do this one. I think this is a repeat. So this is a repeat. This is Monstera Thai Constellation, another baby. So these last 3 are Monsteras. Another one of these big Monsteras. like the one from earlier. They literally look exactly the same. So we are gonna have a ton of these for a little while. I hope that you guys like these because I'm going to be propagating the heck out of these. It is a really nice plant. It's like super pretty. The colors are so nice. I just have a lot of work to do with this. Oh my God, this is a like actual nightmare, you guys. I just hate like when things are dirty. And I hate when plant packages are just not secure. So this is a Monstera albo, and you can see it's a nightmare for me. It's so dirty. This is Monstera albo, obviously. It's a high variegated albo. This one has some yellowing down here. This one is cut. As you can see, it must have been browning. They cut it. This one is yellowing. This is like one of the newest. This one is the newest. Got all this all white. Look at this one. So super high variegated. I'm going to be cutting this plant into multiples. That's usually how I do the Monstera albo so that I can have a couple on the shop at a time. These are not cheap plants for me to be buying like 10 of these. You know what I'm saying? Like they are not cheap. So I have to propagate these, and it's just easier to sell them at a smaller size. It does look a little raggedy because it was like completely squished at the bottom. I'm assuming they look very similar. Another high variegated albo, very similar size, similar color. They're growing like pretty much identical. This is some of the leaves you can see. This one here, this one down here, this guy. That concludes our planty haul. This is going to be a very productive, busy week. It always is. So this vlog is definitely going to be quite long. It's gonna have a lot of probably sped up like time-lapse parts because I just have so many things to do to prep for next Thursday. And if I was to sit here and let everything play on like 1x speed, you'd be here for like 10 hours. I'm serious. It's a long process. So what I'm gonna do today is just leave these plants alone. I leave them alone for like a few days. Probably on Saturday is when I'm going to do the repot for all these plants. So I'm gonna leave them alone for a few days, turn the ceiling fan on for like the next 3 days, try to get these to dry out as much as they can because they're soaked, repot them, get the pictures done, get the listings made on my website, get that going. I have a few other things that are gonna be going up on the website as well for Thursday that are not plants, some new stuff. So I have to get with that as well. I don't know if I'll put that in this vlog because it's already gonna be so long. Maybe I will, maybe I won't, I don't know. And then I'll show you guys the whole process of me getting all the plants ready for next week's restock. It's been a few days since I got the plants. Usually I will just let the plants sit for a few days after I get them in the mail. I sat them in here and I had my ceiling fan on high so that it could help dry out some of the potting mix. That kind of just makes the repotting a little easier when they aren't soaking wet. So here is everything. When I get any type of inventory in, I always make sure that I count everything and verify it on my invoice to make sure that I have everything that I have. So this is 32 plants in total, and it does match my invoice. One thing that is a little bit frustrating with doing this wholesale, if you're getting the plants shipped via UPS, they have 3 type of like package deals that you can do. And this is pretty normal for any type of wholesale of what you do, whether it's plants or any type of product. There is like a minimum amount of items and a certain price you have to spend. I usually do the medium package, I guess, if that's what you want to call it, which is a minimum amount and a maximum of 40 plants. So the one thing that is a little difficult is sometimes getting to that minimum amount but not going over 40 plants. Sometimes when I'm doing the order, I do have to go back into it and like move some things around or take things out or put things in because I'm not reaching the minimum amount, but I'm already at 40. It took me a little while this round to get, you know, where I wanted to. And then in the end, they end up only sending 32 out of the 40. It's kind of frustrating, like, that they do that. And the reason that happens is probably because at the time of us placing the order, the plants that we asked for were available, but now they're not when they are packing them up. So they just take it off of the invoice. But that is like 10 plants that I could have had, or that they could have just asked like, we don't have these, this is what we have, pick 10 more or whatever. And then I would have just did that. Over the holidays, I did the like smaller package, which is only 20 plants, and that worked out pretty great, but it is really hard to stay in the 20 plant range and hit the minimum that they want you to. It's really hard. So I find that the medium package is like the best. And then they have like a larger package where you get, I think 60 plants, 60 or 50, but it's like really expensive. And shipping alone for stuff like this is like $400 and something. I couldn't really imagine getting 60 plants. I think it would be just a lot of money in shipping. If you're like a business that has like a physical store, or if you just are able to hold hundreds of plants, like a greenhouse or something like that, or whatever, the typical shipping would be they put it all in a box and they put it on a freight truck, and then the truck drives to you and drops the plants off, which that is a whole different process that I do not do because I don't have the capacity to do that. And that is very, very expensive. You would have to be getting like hundreds of plants for that to make sense, and probably spend like a couple $1,000s. So I'm going to repot all of the plants, and what I'm checking for is if the plants actually do have roots, if they're healthy, so like no root rot or anything. If I can separate any of the plants, I will make them into more than one. That is something that works really great for my store because I am a smaller scale store. And then after we're done repotting everything, I do clean all the plants up, I wipe them down, and then I label them, take their pictures, and then work on the listing. So I'm hoping that I can get everything done this weekend and get it up on the shop and have it like scheduled out for next Thursday, because I do have some other things that I want to work on for the shop, but this is the priority. So I want to make sure these are out of the way. So what I'm going to do right now is make a really large batch of potting mix. So let me show you guys how I make that. So I have all of my potting substrates in their own bins. It keeps me organized this way. If you're someone who uses a lot of different substrates, it's really good to organize them in your own bins. This is my big bin here, and then this one down here, this is going to be my little smaller like working bin, like when I'm repotting, and then I'll just refill it as I go. So my aeroid potting mix consists of cocoa husk, which is this. I had a whole section in one of my last videos explaining cocoa husk and how to prep it for your potting mix, so make sure you check that out. Coarse perlite, horticultural charcoal, and also a orchid bark mix. And I just mix it all up, and then I'll just add in more if I need it. It's chunky and it's great for aeroids and Hoyas. That's why I like it. I do sell bags of this on my website if you want to ever try it out. All of these shop plants are always going to be in this mix, so you can always expect like a good quality mix in the plants that I sell. The repotting section is going to be sped up because it does take a little while, and I'm not going to be showing my face in there because I'm going to be putting on a face mask because it gets super dusty, like dealing with all the old soil, and then this gets dusty, everything, and I have really bad allergies. So I'm gonna go ahead and get set up at my table, and I will check in with you guys when I'm finished repotting the plant. here's everything after I finished repotting. It probably took me like 2 hours, I would say. For the most part, everything was good. As I expected, one of the radicans, I think I mentioned it when I was unboxing it, it had like a lot of like yellow leaves, and you can see this one. I hope that you can see it on camera, but if you can't, it is yellowing. And it had like 3 more leaves that was also like yellowing. It did indeed have some root rot, so I did just trim it down. I trimmed it down and cleaned it up, but what I'm going to do with this guy and a couple other plants, I'm just going to put it aside in the like little rehab area and wait until it's got some better roots, and then I will sell it once it looks better. All of these plants here are all good. This bin right here, a lot of the Monstera, the one that I can't pronounce, I'll put the name up on the screen, the ones that were on the big totems, the entire bottom leaves of those were all like yellowing. Once a leaf is yellowing, you cannot save it, like it's dying. So I can't sell plants that have like yellowing leaves on it. I just, you know, why would I do that? They're gonna die. So I was able to get some really nice sized ones of them that were in good condition. So you can see this one here, this one is like a good size. I put it on the little plank and all the leaves look good. And I got a couple more good ones that are like kind of small that like look like this, in case you're looking for something a little bit smaller. This would have been a really nice one, but it's like all yellow, every single leaf. These were like all the bottom cuts. Yeah, it was like the same for the Monstera albos. So anytime I get Monstera albo anyway, I always do cut them down because it's hard to sell like that size of a Monstera albo. These 2 albos that we got in particular, a lot of the bottom leaves were yellowing or were like already cut like beforehand. I was able to make 2 nice ones that are ready to go like right away. So we have this guy, which is really nice, and then I have this one leafer here. As you can see, this one is yellowing here. You can see it more from the back, but it is going to be on its way out. This one, you can see, this one was already cut. So like, I'm not going to sell this like this, but the plant has like good roots. So I did just pot them up and they're just gonna go in the rehab section until it's time. And then I have like 2 bottom cuts of the Monstera albos that were just all stem. So I didn't want to just get rid of them. So here's one. It has nice roots, but no leaves. It does have a growth point here, so eventually it will produce a leaf. And then I have this one here, which also has a little growth point, so at some point will produce a leaf. So yeah, that's what we have for like rehabs. And then this is the, I don't even know if you can see it on the camera, but this is the big philodendron snowdrift. Don't know what I'm gonna do with this. It's too big for shipping, so I'm probably just gonna put it to the side. If you do see this and you do want this plant and you want it shipped and you're willing to pay for the shipping, send me an email. I'll put my email on the screen. I can work something out with you and tell you how much it's going to cost, and if you want to pay for it, then I will pack it up. I think I might try to list this just on Facebook Marketplace. That's what I did before with one of the pasta xanthums I got. I had a really big one. I listed it on Facebook. Somebody came and got it. So 2 more things I want to do today. I did take a good amount of propagations of these, so I'm going to quickly pot those up. I'll show you guys those. And then I think I'm also going to just move forward and clean up the plants and label them so it's done and out of the way, and then I can just like relax for the rest of the day. And then tomorrow I will work on taking all the pictures and just spending time over the weekend just doing the listings. This whole process for like a big restock like this, it does take me a couple days to get everything done. So I have to really not procrastinate and try to get as much done as I can as fast as I can. Let me show you guys the propagations and then I'll start cleaning them up, and then I'll also be giving everybody a water, and that'll be it for today. As you can see, I have quite a bit of cuttings here, mostly of that Monstera because there was like a lot of them. They've been sitting for a little while, so I need to like get them in something soon. So I have a good amount of Monstera albo cuttings, which will be good for the future. This is like what I was like saying, a lot of them are like already like damaged, you know what I mean? This is another one that was already pre-cut and it's on its way out, but I do want to try to grow it as like a wet stick. This one here. Here are some cuts of that other monstera. This one is yellowing, but I want to try it as a wet stick. And then these two right here. Took a top cut of the Chia Pence variegated. So the bottom will be for sale, and then once this one roots, this one will be for sale. I have a good handful here of the Scindapsus Blue Albo because the way that it was growing, a lot of them were reverting and they were already growing off of the support, so they were getting kind of small. So I might as well just put them in their own thing and then just sell them like that. Then I have two of these Hoya Polynura. I took the top cut of this Scindapsus Trubii Moonlight Marble, and this is going to be for propagation purposes for the shop for the future. So this is going to be a mother plant as this starts growing. The bottom, I ended up cutting it into like 2 pieces, so it's 2 leaves per plant. So it'll be a little bit cheaper than the full thing because this is kind of up there in price right now. Then I just cut this piece of the Philodendron gigas because it was growing a little funky. Like it's growing like this. I'm gonna prop these in a mixture of Fluval and coarse perlite because I have quite a bit here and I don't want to just go through my Fluval so quickly. And then I'm gonna wipe all the leaves down and label them as I go. Today I'm going to be taking all the pictures of the new plants so that I can start making the listings on my shop website. That is why the lighting is kind of off right now, because I have the studio lights on, so it looks a little different than normal. Let me show you guys the new backdrops that I recently got for the shop photos. So as you can see, these two large boards, these are my new backdrops. They are both front and back. So the white marble has black on the back, and the gray concrete has a darker version of the concrete on the back. So it's very like versatile. I got these two plus an additional white marble one with the black on the back. So in case I wanted to do like a double marble effect, I could. But I think I'm going to try to do the marble background with the concrete like floor look. I feel like one of the biggest opportunities I could do for my shop is have better photos. Current backdrop that I use, I really do like. It was a DIY project. I'll show you that now. So this is the little DIY one I made a few months ago. I have a wooden board on the back, and then I just used these peel and stick tiles from Lowe's, and then this marble like contact paper that I just have on this little shelf thingy that I use to store like cleaning supplies. I like it a lot, and I like the look of it in photos. I'll insert a picture here so you can see exactly how it looks like after the picture is taken. The thing that I've been struggling though is, as you can see, it is shiny, so it reflects a lot of light, and sometimes you can see it in the photos, and I just don't like that. And also it's not as large as I need it to be. It's really hard for me to get the full shot of the plant sometimes, and I really want to be able to get the full effect of the whole plant, not just like crop it and stuff. Probably still going to use this for like smaller things, just to like switch things up. But I figured it was time to invest in like actual like photography boards. Like I said, I did get 3 of these just because I wanted to possibly make a double marble effect. So this is what the board look like. And then on the back of this one is a black marble. These are very, very heavy. They are like a really thick foam material, but not like the typical foam board that you're like used to seeing. As you can hear, they're like really hard. I found a vendor on Alibaba who makes these in a smaller size for product photography. I asked them to make a specific size for me, and they were able to. Placed the order like 2 weeks ago, and I got them like a few days ago, so it didn't take too long. Some of the edges are a little bit damaged because it did get like kind of tossed around, but you're not going to really see the edges, so I think I'm just going to like put tape along the edges so they don't further get damaged. But yeah, I have this extra one here, so let me show you how they get put together. So I zoomed in quite a bit here, so I hope you can see. You see these little L bracket thingies? This is what they look like. And you basically just slide in the top one here and then the bottom one down here, and it just sits right up. I have one over here, and then I have one over here. Since I did get a large size, it is a little bit wobbly, I will say that. So anyway, I'm going to be taking all the photos for the shop. Another thing that I want to do this week, you'll probably see me do it in the next vlog though, is update all of my non-plant items to these type of backdrops as well, to have everything a little bit more consistent, especially all the plant pots in particular, because taking pictures of clear items is very difficult, especially when you're using a white backdrop or a backdrop that is already shiny and the item is also shiny. They're going to look much better, I think, against the concrete color, because it's going to add some contrast. So I definitely want to take new pictures of those. And for a lot of the non-plant products like the plant pots, the soil mixes and stuff, I am planning on adding at least one video to each listing, like showing it off in a video format so that you can see like size comparisons next to each other, see what it looks like in real time, like, you know what I mean? So those are some projects that are on my list of things to do. I know I can't get to everything today, but I'm going to try my best to do a lot of it this week. And then when I get all my new products in, because I'm getting 2 new products this year, I'm going to do the same thing for those. One of my major goals for 2024 for the shop is to have my shop look more consistent with the pictures in general. Your shop photos have to look good for somebody to want to purchase it. And sometimes when I'm rushing and stuff like that, the pictures don't come out that great. And then the item will sit on the shop for months. But then the moment I update the picture, it will sell literally that week. So that makes me realize like I took a really bad picture and I need to slow down and take my time with them and really get like good shots. So that's why I really wanted these, because they are huge, so I can get the full plant so you can actually see like how big it really is. This will also be good for my Instagram feed because I've been lacking with the Instagram so bad. I've been like down in the dumps about Instagram, but I'm gonna just try to just power through it and just post, because that is where I have the majority of my following, and I need to do better with Instagram in general. So once I'm done taking the pictures, I'm going to sort all the plants in their proper home in the shop, and then I'm going to just spend a lot of time on the computer just updating the shop and making sure everything looks consistent and stuff like that. If I feel like it, maybe I will start working on some of the non-plant photos as well, because I already have it all set up, but yeah, we'll see.